This is the Momma Fit Podcast. This podcast is dedicated to all those mamas out there that want to fit a workout in a day, or want to fit in a moment of bliss, or hey, you want to fit into those skinny jeans. Dana Dieters is the host of Momma Fit Podcast. She's a mother of two beautiful girls, a wife, and entrepreneur. Her passion became her profession when she had a wake-up call about 15 years ago. With the support of others and a positive attitude, she was able to overcome the hurdles in her life. This mama strives to wake up and conquer each day to make it better than the day before. Her passion for business and education to others is what drives this mama to be the best version of Momma Fit. With Dana's background, she hopes to help you with your business, health and fitness needs, family time in the kitchen, and give you motivation and inspiration to tackle your day. And most importantly, to help you fit in your Momma Fit time.
Welcome back to the Momma Fit Podcast. I am in Atlanta, Georgia, as I'm speaking. We have a booth at this convention. It's the SCW Fitness Convention, and we have 3 more of these this year. I really like this convention because you get to network with really great people, meet a ton of people around the area, also network with the professionals that are here, the fitness professionals that have been in the industry for like 20, 30 years, and they've been speaking and doing these conventions for about the same time. So they probably were in the industry for 10, 20 years before that. So, I mean, most of them are in their 40s, 50s, 60s at this point. So you get to learn from the newer ones to the ones that's been in here for a long time. So it's kind of cool. Anyways, I'm here and I was just thinking about how stressed out I become when I go and leave my family, my 2 girls, every time I go somewhere. And it's like, I got to get it together because I literally have 3 more of these, and that's just this SCW. So I wanted to kind of go and talk to you about some of the stuff that I deal with and how I have been actually working on it as an entrepreneur. You are kind of dealing with a lot of stress all the time, anxiety of how your business is going. And not only that, you do have some traveling times as well. So I kind of wanted to put that in my episode for today. And we all know if you are running a business, life and business are anxiety provoking every single day. Yet a certain amount of stress is necessary for us to drive that motivation and hard work. That kind of stress that creates a deep, painful feeling of anxiety is usually situational based and very short term. We are mostly easily hijacked by feelings of anxiety when we are under the pressure of uncertain outcomes or situations. The most effective way that I feel that we can deal with those intense anxiety is to reconnect ourselves. So some of the things I'm going to talk about in this episode are ways to manage the stress effectively so we can live our life and feeling emotionally abundant rather than feeling emotionally drained. One thing we need to do is take a minute. Whenever we're stressed and feeling as if our lives are out of control, it is critical we learn to take a mental and emotional time out. I know we know what that feels like. So when that happens, we need to take a minute and calm the reactive nature of our minds so we can work towards embracing and understanding that our lives aren't out of control. It is just simply the situation we're in that feels out of control. Do you know what I mean? So we must remind ourselves that all things come to a resolution eventually. When we're feeling anxious, it is common that we try and push the river as a method of ridding ourselves of painful, intense emotions we are feeling. However, forcing the situations to their closure often comes at a greater cost than dealing with the current level of anxiety we're feeling. So, taking a minute and reminding yourself that giving things a little space is sometimes the best way to bring uncertainty back to certainty. All right, number 2, balance what you can. And I will be the first to say, Hallelujah. Balance is key when you are running a business, having children, having a husband, taking care of a house, making sure everything is going right in your life as far as your health, making sure you're getting your workouts in, your meal planning, and all that. So when times are tough, we have to take hold of those areas in our life we can exert a reasonable amount of control over, such as eating a balanced meal, getting enough sleep, exercising, limiting our intake of alcohol and caffeine. There are so many things that we can do and take control of that are what's going to make us feel better and balance all the other stuff that's in between. So number 2, make sure that you are taking care of your body, because when we balance our body physically and chemically, the stress is much easier to manage and cope with. All right, on to number 3. Really simple, but it's hard sometimes. Breathe. Have you ever had that feeling where you couldn't get a deep breath or they were really shallow? So feelings of that extreme stress, anxiety can cause us to take short and shallow breaths, which does not provide our brain with that necessary oxygen to think rationally and critically. I've been there. I literally, seriously, sometimes live on short breaths. Not like I'm doing everything right, guys. I'm telling you the things that I do that needs to change as well. So when we can forcefully slow down for just a minute and focus on taking slower, deeper breaths, it can ground us almost immediately. And things actually begin to feel less hopeless. If our stress feels so severe that slowing down to breathe for a minute feels impossible, force yourself to count to 10 and count slowly. It's kind of a weird exercise, but focusing on the numbers takes away from focusing on the circumstance we cannot control. So breathing not only soothes the anxiety, but also puts us back in touch with the present moment, allowing us to be more cautious of our thinking and decision-making process. So win-win when you're in business, okay? Think about it that way. And this doesn't have to be business related. If you're feeling like you can't get a deep breath because your kids are driving you crazy, like lock yourself in the bathroom for 10 counts, take some deep breaths. And I'm not kidding. You will feel better when you get back out of that bathroom and your kids are waiting for you. I've been there. Okay. I'm a mom. I get it. Number 4, hard work. All right. Sometimes the best way to beat stress is taking a stay in action. We can work our way through nearly anything, right? We must possess that never give up attitude regardless of how pressured and exhausted we may be feeling. Hard work keeps us active, focused in, and search for the solutions to our challenges and stressful circumstances. As long as we are working hard, we're likely making some sort of forward moving progress towards our goal. So hard work keeps us focused on solutions rather than the problems. Okay, so there's 2 different things here. So we talk about hard work. It is good to get involved with your work and make you feel like you're getting something done. You're motivated. You're in the process to be successful. You're not worried about the problems that might come array, or if there is a problem, you are just working to get ahead, okay? So that never give up attitude, regardless of the pressure, you can still be working hard without that stress. All right, number 5 is staying positive. It takes 0 effort to think negatively when we're under stress. But we must do what we can to manage those thoughts which travel through our mind and force our thoughts to be positive, hopeful, and flexible. The more fixed and rigid we stay in our defensed mindset, the more we limit our ability to be innovative when we're trying to find solutions. We must not allow our fears to hold us back when we're under stress, but to push us forward. the more hopeful and positive we stay, the better quality of life. And the more open we keep our decisions, we're more likely to be more creative and more good things come to you. It's again like that law of attraction, where if you keep things positive, positive things will come back to you. All right, last one, number 6, seek advice. Stress shuts our thinking process completely down. And I will say that when I'm at my worst and at my stressful points, I have to literally go away from my computer and just go for a walk. I cannot think of one more thing. I literally feel like my brain has shut off. We tend to hold fixed ideas about how we're thinking and how things are going in our life and how they are maybe not turning out, and how our fixed ideas about how we want them to turn out are not turning out. That is when we are at our stopping point where you need to take a break. Some of these fixed ideas may be in opposition of how things are actually going in reality. So when we cannot get ourselves out of that painful rut into a workable solution, it is best to seek advice from others who are maybe more experienced. And sometimes that outside advice can do wonders when it comes to opening our mind and making us feel less alone. Because in entrepreneur world, we feel alone. And with that other outside source, we can feel more supported. And we all need support. People want to help other people. All we have to do is put our ego down and ask for help when we need it, and remain open to new ideas and thinking. So if you're that fixed person, like I used to be very fixed and I didn't want to hear anybody else, but now I've became more open, because when I am super fixed, I can't think and I can't do what I really want to do in life. I need to seek more advice and I have to be more open. With everything that I'm doing, I have been able to do more when I'm open-minded. As an entrepreneur, we are always constantly trying to give our best. And with that, we do feel like we're giving out too much, and that's why we get that anxiety and stress. I hope that these 6 ways has helped you with some ideas on how to manage stress and anxiety in your life. Because all we want to do is feel emotionally abundant and not that emotionally drained. So next time, seek balance, take a minute, take a breath, and stay positive. You got this. Thanks again for listening, and I will talk to you next week.
Thanks so much for spending your time with the Momma Fit Podcast. Dana is so happy to share her tips and tricks with you. If you loved this podcast, we'd be so happy if you could share this episode with your friends and family. Also, if you have time, please leave us a review of your honest thoughts and reflections of the podcast on iTunes or our app. We'd be so grateful. If you have any topic or suggestion that you want answered, leave those in the comments below and make sure that you fit in your Momma Fit time.